Wake up, honey. Wake up. Honey, are you awake yet? Because we went viral. Let's freaking go. How are we doing, Sourdough Squad? On this beautiful, we're going to call it a Victory Tuesday because we're still riding high off that fantastic dub against the Cowboys. And I'm feeling fantastic. I would imagine the squad feels the same as well. We got YouTube detail in the building. Let's go, SoCal. We see you, my guy. Drop a SDS in the freaking chat if you're vibing with me because we had some fun stuff go down last night. We had some fun stuff go down last night. We're going to talk about the Trent Williams viral photo. Obviously, that photo has absolutely taken over the football side of the internet, and it's fantastic. And I just want to show it, talk about it, speak about it in all its glory. Because if you haven't seen it yet, Netherlands checking in. Let's go, squad. We see you out there. We see you out there in the Netherlands. Sheesh. That's a long way away from me. Lambo takeover coming soon, 100%. Good to see the squad in here. YouTube detail in the building. You love to see it. Love to see it. But Dima says, that was legendary. And it was. And let's take a look at it. I mean, if you haven't, we're gonna talk about it. A little pull back the curtains behind how some of this stuff goes viral or how this stuff even comes to play. But it's a lot of fun. And it all started with good old Trent Williams. We were minding our own business, doing our thing, making content, posting content, doing all that good stuff. And then we looked at Trent Williams' story on Instagram last night. And we popped on Trent Williams' story on Instagram last night. As you can see, we'll go to it. Look, there it is in all its glory. Like instantly when I saw this photo on his story, my mind blew up because we talk about when we think of iconic images, especially amongst 49er fans, we think of like Dwight Clark, we think of Vernon Davis, crying in tears, and Jim Harbaugh's their embrace, that photo. Like we've seen the opposite of iconic for the 49er fans where Richard Sherman's going up in the corner of the end zone and he's knocking down a Colin Kaepernick end zone fade. There are a lot of iconic photos. There are a lot of iconic photos for the San Francisco 49ers, man. I'm telling you. Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders, Joe Montana, Dwight Clark. There's so many legendary photos. Yes, Angelina. Yes, Angie. Shanny sitting in the locker room. Legendary. That might be, honestly, that's a good call, Angie. That might be one of the more legendary photos that we have of at least the Kyle Shanahan era, right? With Kyle sitting on the ground, his head against an equipment box, looking all dejected, after a poor season. Yep, Steve Young's TD run against the Vikings. 100%. Bosa and Warner standing over Aaron Jones from the 2019 NFC Championship game. There was a lot. There's a lot of images that come to mind. And to be honest, when we went through this game, I didn't really see anything that really came out that would have lend itself to be legendary. But the second I hopped onto this man's story, and I saw this photo. Obviously, you can see it. It's Trent Williams pointing in the face of two Cowboys fans who are flipping him the bird. And I mean, it just is just one of those things. It's just like instantly speaks to you. Like when we think of this rivalry week, and one of the things that I do want to talk about, is the fact that This rivalry is back. I mean, you let me know in the chat if you agree, but it feels like this rivalry is back. The whole Dallas Cowboys versus 49ers rivalry was kind of dormant there for a second, right? Like it was a cool storyline. We talked about it a lot, but it was that was a it's been a while. It's been over a decade since that rivalry meant anything. And I can tell you right now, it's back. Oh, especially amongst the fan base. Especially amongst the fan base. There was so much chirping going on between Dallas fans, 49ers fans, all throughout the week. Oh, it was unbelievable to see both fan bases just really like step up to the moment. And, it just felt like all that energy, everything came back. And again, detail perfectly with the bullies get bullied comments. Like, there are so many things and storylines that played into this, and it was just an epic game. Of course, we saw the game play out the way the 49ers seemingly had control early and often, and then with some self-inflicted wounds, all of a sudden here come the Cowboys creeping back. Us as 49er fans, we've been here before. You go back to week 1 of the Detroit game when the 49ers were up 40, I think it was like what, 40-17 or something like that, and Detroit almost comes back and wins that damn game. Like, we've been there. We know what that heartbreak feels like, to not come out on top in those games, to watch these games slip away. Um, so it just had everything. It just had everything going into it, and the game lived up to the hype. It absolutely did. And you see all the chirping after the game. You see Skip Bayless speechless. You see Stephen A just going nuts, making fun of all the sad Cowboys fans getting roasted across the internet. Like, it's back. Like, the rivalry is back 100%. So I'm super excited. But when we talk about the rivalry, like, and really like iconic games, there's normally an iconic image that comes along with it, right? And it really does feel like that this image from I don't want to get it wrong, from Cooper Neal, at Cooper, COOPERNEILL. Honestly, this photo's got to be one of the most legendary. It really has to be. And the way everything came out, obviously, we posted it last night. So we posted it across social media and all that good stuff. And obviously, this thing went nuts. We obviously had it go off, over 10K likes, bunch of retweets, all that good stuff. And then obviously you saw Pro Football Focus retweet it. You got David Lombardi of The Athletic, Will Blackman, former NFL player and current analyst, and you have Mike Golick Jr., analyst, and all that good stuff. It blew up, and I would imagine it's still probably got a ways to go. I imagine it'll still get some run. But if you do want to go follow this photographer, here is his Twitter. You can find it on the website. You can find it on a couple of the links or any of the photos that we have, because honestly, the photo is freaking legendary. It is absolutely legendary. And what's really cool about it too is when I was searching through, doing my content stuff, grabbing, uh, you know, whatever assets that I can find that I think 49er fans will like, I found the video. I found a video that 49ers social posted of basically it happening in real time. And then of course, we just threw a little edit treatment on it. But it's just, to me, I don't know. I don't know about you guys. But for me, this image like completely embodies what this last week has been for the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, as fans, as if you cover the team, I mean, we've had, Cowboys fans chirping our comments, doing all kinds of things, sending us all kinds of stuff, tagging us in all kinds of stuff. I mean, it just feels like with the entire week, how it played out, it just feels like this photo, like right here, just embodies this rivalry. I I'm so happy, man. I'm so freaking happy. It's so fun. It's so good. I love it. And to me, like I said, this also puts the exclamation mark right back on the rivalry. Like if the 49ers and Dallas ever play again, oh my goodness. It's going to be get your popcorn ready because it's going to be must watch TV, especially with the talking going into the game and everything coming out of it. The rivalry's back, guys. One of the best rivalries in all of sport, not just football, basketball, whatever. Any sport, the rivalry is back and I'm so happy for it because it is just one of the it's when the 49ers are good, when the Cowboys are good, the NFL is just better. It's just better that way. But it was a lot of fun to see this all play out the way it did. And obviously it's doing numbers, it's going viral right now. Like I said, it'll probably pick up a little bit more too, as a couple more accounts pick it up. But overall, man, it was really fun. And Trent also posted this video of another angle of the same situation, but it's a little bit longer. So you see him point, he points again, he goes to give him a high five, like, what's good, bro? And the guy like slaps his hand away. Eric Armstead gives him the little wave. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is the Dallas, I don't think Dallas fans needed an iconic photo to remember this loss by, but my goodness, these Dallas fans acting a fool, they're separated by a little like gate and they're just got their fingers flaring in the face of a man who's probably like 6'8", 330 pounds that could probably kill any single person on this planet with his bare fists. He's just an animal. And I love that Trent goes to give him a high five. I love that Trent goes to give him a high five. Trent handled it perfectly. I mean, you can see Trent. You cannot mess with this man. Like, look at how happy he is. Look at how happy our Trent is. I'm so happy, man. Like, look at how happy he is. Like, this man is winning his first playoff game of his career, his long, illustrious career with many Pro Bowls. Got his first All Pro this year. This is his first playoff victory, and you cannot wipe that smile off his face. And I absolutely love it. Trent Williams walks off the field, hearing it from the crowd. Everyone's calling his name, and then you get these two bozos over here flipping him off. I mean, obviously you can see they had big smiles on their faces too. They're recording it, they wanted a reaction. Hey, look, you see the phone, they're recording it. They got the reaction they wanted. Now they are responsible for one of the most iconic photos that I can remember. I mean, right? Am I the only one? Do we think this photo is up there with some of those most iconic photos that we talked about at the beginning? Again, I can't think of, like, there are a lot. I mean, there's a handful of absolutely iconic photos, but at least for this year, this one to me trumps it. Like, this one to me absolutely trumps it, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's a lot of fun, man. I love it. I love this stuff. This stuff's great. So obviously, Trent Williams, the legend, continues to grow for the homie, and you love to see it because he deserves all the credit in the world, and he doesn't get enough credit. It's another reason why we want to take a moment to give the boy his flowers. So really, really happy about that, man. Jason says 49er fans dropping the people's elbow on the Cowboys whiteout towel in the front door of Jerry's World. Hot after the wild card loss, Brad. Do you think the rivalry is renewed? Oh, 100%. And why not? Let's pull that video up because we got that one too. The rivalry is in full effect. And now what's really cool too What's really cool about it all is the 49ers now get the Packers. The 49ers now get the Packers. Packers are up next, and it's it's another insanely legendary rivalry. It's another insanely legendary rivalry, and I feel like the fan base is ready to go. I feel like the fan base is charged up, absolutely ready to go. This is the video that Jason is talking about right here. Not this one. Oh wait, no, I'm on the wrong thread. I got too many receipts pulled. Which one was it? Dang, which one was it? This one. Arden Key smoking that Cowboys pack. That Cowboys pack still hitting, boys and girls. It's still hitting. But this is the video that Jason is talking about in the super chat. So you can see them doing the bench press move. Then you get the little people's elbow on the white victory towel. Man, the 49er fans showed up and showed out, man. They went crazy. 10-year challenge. Look at Romo. Look at Dak. It looks like an almost identical photo. Oh my goodness, but it feels good because it really does feel like the rivalry is back. Obviously, seeing these thank you. Big stepping. I don't know why that lost my mind for a second. This one's the best one. I don't know about you guys, but I think this is one of the best memes that we've seen. Like, I don't know. This one just hit different. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but for me, I don't know why, but just seeing the image and then gonna tell my kids this is Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox, I fell out. This thing is gold. It is gold. Like, put this in the Louvre. Like, put this in the meme hall of fame. I love it, dude. I love it. And when we say the rivalry is back, best believe, family, that the rivalry is back. Oh, it's so good. Look at Mike McCarthy. Oh, they did him so dirty. They did him so dirty. The Dallas Cowboys cycle. This was actually posted from Joe Staley on his Instagram. The cycle goes: season starts, beat up on bad teams, fans get delusional. To say we them boys, this our year. Choke in the playoffs. Season starts. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I'm so happy, man. And then we got Skip Bayless, like lightweight having a stroke out here. Like he had no words. So good. So good. Oh, it's so fun. I could really like that's the thing. It's like it's officially Packers week now, but I still want to live in this world where all we're doing is roasting Cowboys fans. Like, I'm just having a blast. I'm absolutely having a blast doing it. I don't want it to stop. This one's one of my favorites. Jimmy G has more playoff wins than the entire Cowboys franchise since 2000. Whoo! That Cowboys pack is hitting tough, ladies and gentlemen. It is hitting tough. We're still enjoying it. We're still having a good time. Taylor Allen says, join late. Sorry if it's been covered, but is it smoke screen on Jimmy possibly not playing? Coach is playing chess. I think that's a perfect transition, Taylor, and we will talk about that because there is some news that came out today, and one of the pieces of news being this tweet. Let me get your super chat out the way real quick so we can read it. This from Jason McKintry. Texted someone in SF about 90 minutes ago asking about Jimmy G. Lots of rumors. The hand and the shoulder are not good. Like, quote, may not start good. And the line has surged market wide to -6. Somebody has even more intel. Yeah, well, I think from my understanding, I think he already has a piece of information that's incorrect. I believe, and I could be wrong on this too, so don't quote me. Don't quote me, but I believe that the line actually opened at -5.5. So if that is the case, and that's what I've heard, if the line did open at -5.5, that's a half a point swing. If that's true, already, already this tweet is super suspect. Now, again, I don't know. I don't know what the line opened at. That's what I've heard it opened at. Scott is saying it opened at 5. So that it sounds like that is around that realm. That the line opened at 5, 5.5, whatever. So it already disputes his tweet that says, and the line has surged market wide. Somebody has even more intel. So you can see Christian saying it opened at 4.5. I think it's around that world. Kyle saying it's back to 5.5. So as we know, the line fluctuates. It comes out hot at one point and then it fluctuates, and we know how that works. So that right off the bat, just like it's almost like an immediate disqualifier. But we post rumors, we post news, we post updates. He's got a blue check. That's part of the requirements of getting on the page. So I don't know what he knows. I have no idea. Like literally, I don't know like really this guy that too all too well. I don't believe he has a fantastic reputation out there for being a source guy. But this is what he put out. So I put it, I reposted it. But if you want, and so back to the original question at hand. Um, is it a smoke screen on Jimmy possibly not playing? Well, there's a reason why I chose this photo. There's a reason why I put this tweet on this photo because this is Jimmy Garoppolo's throwing arm. And as you can see, hold on one second. This seems appropriate. Seems like an appropriate time. As you can see, his arm is raised and it's not being hindered. If anything, you're saying his left shoulder looks a little bit lower. But the way it's rotated and it's elevated, if you have a spread like a significant sprain in your shoulder, you're probably not lifting it above your head like this after you just injured it. So typically, like let's say you just get injured. Now we also are going to keep into account that adrenaline does exist. These guys probably had intense adrenaline throughout this game, the way it ended, all of it. It was a crazy game. So you could make the argument, hey, maybe he didn't feel it. Maybe there's just so much adrenaline flowing through his body that hey, maybe he didn't realize how much it hurt because these players, they're wired to play through injury. That's just a part of it. So, but again, like I said, there's a reason I use this photo. You can see his arm. You go back to the videos again. We try to pull whatever references we can find. I, I mean, if it is, then that's what it is. But if it's not, this dude's gonna get roasted. Like if it comes because Kyle Shanahan's gonna be talking to the media, I believe today at 4. If you go over to the 49ers YouTube page, it does look like they have a scheduled press conference at 4. So if that does, like, we're gonna find out. I would imagine someone's gonna ask him about this tweet. I mean, it's pretty big news. You know what I'm saying? So I would imagine someone's going to ask him about it. But for my personal situation at hand, like I have, like we talk about, like texted someone in SF. Like there's so many people in the Bay Area. Like he could have texted me. He could have texted me. I made a joke about it that he did text me and that I'm the guy in SF. Like it's just this is why the sources game. I don't like to be in the sources game. Like I could be in the sources game and I could be dropping per sources reports. I have zero interest. I have zero damn interest because you can be right. I've experienced it. You can be right about information that you have, but if it doesn't match the outside perception and then the move doesn't occur, then people will just they don't care. They don't care. They just see, "Oh, it didn't happen. You said that it could happen." And there could be actual legitimate reasons why something didn't happen, but they don't care. So I don't I he's brave. This man, Jason, he's a brave soul. So I hope for his own mental health that there might be some truth to this. But honestly, I hope for 49er fans that there is no truth to this. I hope that Jimmy Garoppolo is fine and that we're going like I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. Like we've gone back and forth. We talk about 49ers every single day. We talk about 49ers every single day on this account. So that means we talk about the quarterback a lot. That means we talk about the quarterback a lot. That you guys know how I felt at the beginning of the year. You guys know how I felt at the middle of the year. You guys know how I felt at the end of the year. I would be a little bit nervous, you know, I would be a little bit nervous to go into Lambeau Stadium, -3 degrees, with Trey Lance starting his third game in a playoff game against Aaron Rodgers in one of the most iconic stadiums in the world. Like, when we talk about storylines a lot, we talk about, you know, those kinds of things. We romanticize football, all that kind of stuff, romanticize the storylines. Kind of what we did at the beginning of this, right? We romanticized that photo. That photo, like, legendary. The Trent Williams photo, um, absolutely legendary. It's gonna live forever amongst us. It's gonna live at least amongst my page. And so it's gonna live forever then. But essentially, like, I would be nervous. I think I would be more nervous if Trey Lance, like, this ended up being true, and let's say Jimmy Garoppolo can't go. I would be a little bit more nervous having Trey Lance go. Although I have faith in Trey Lance, I do. But we see how on point you have to be in these playoff games. Just ask Dak Prescott, who's been in the league for years, not handing the ball to the ref and rather spotting it himself. Like, those are things that, like, veterans that we don't really think about. We always are hyper focused on traits, execution, and things like that. But the mental aspect of the game, where Jimmy, I think, is a little bit more evolved, is the small things that we really don't take into account. And the small things like knowing, like, hey, I'm not going to spot the ball. I'm going to hand it to the ref because the ref has to touch the ball before it's spot. And we can't hike it before he actually physically places the ball and spots it. Like, those are just very small nuances that veterans will typically have more so than a rookie, especially when bullets are flying, it's a body bag game. Like, it's just, I would feel more comfortable with a veteran, this guy. Now, we understand what happens, the ebbs and flows of the Jimmy Garoppolo experience. We understand it. It's a roller coaster. There's ups, there's downs, and we live and die by it. But I feel more comfortable at this stage in the game going to go into that game with Jimmy. If Trey has to play, then so be it. But I just feel more comfortable. Obviously, we go back to 2019. The 49ers destroyed the Packers twice with Jimmy Garoppolo at the helm. We go back to this year, week 3 against the Green Bay Packers. Jimmy Garoppolo was disastrous for an entire half, literally throwing suicide ball after suicide ball after suicide ball for an entire half. And I was there in person to witness it. Thank you, David, and goodbye, David. We witnessed it against Green Bay live at Levi's Stadium, where he just wasn't working. Like, not only just from Jimmy's standpoint either. I will say this too. Not just only from Jimmy Garoppolo's standpoint, but When we go back, we're gonna probably do a tape review of that game. We'll talk about the things that I noticed that like Green Bay knew what we were doing. The Green Bay Packers, the Green Bay Packers knew exactly what the 49ers are trying to execute from a scheme standpoint on offense. And we showed multiple clips of it at the pat like back in the day when it was going. We did our film reviews, but like a perfect example, you had I think it was like a Debo Samuel go in motion, and the Green Bay Packers had already keyed that it was going to be a handoff. And so he runs like the linebacker starts running Debo's route before Debo even moved. And you just knew, like when I saw that and I saw the linebacker like start running Debo's route before Debo was even called into motion, I was like, yeah, these guys know what the hell we're doing. And that guy ended up making the tackle for a loss because he traveled, he knew where the ball was going, and he met Debo basically at the line of scrimmage. So not only did Jimmy have a bad game against Green Bay, but the scheme wasn't. I wouldn't say the scheme was there. We were running with Trey Sermon, no Elijah Mitchell, no Jeff Wilson. Trey Sermon was having a bit of a rough game. So, you know, we have reference points going into that, but Jimmy almost came back and won that game. Jimmy technically, I don't want to say technically because he didn't, but he was able to fight back into that game, give the 49ers an opportunity to go up on Green Bay. Obviously, what have we talked about ad nauseum? Those 37 seconds. Now that's maybe hopefully like a veteran, the veteran thing that we talk about. You know, grand scheme of things, he would have ran that clock down a little bit more and not given, you know, Aaron Rodgers those 37 seconds to then kind of watch our defense collapse a little bit. But that's why I feel a little bit more confident because I think Jimmy understands what Kyle and the offense is trying to do to the Green Bay defense. So if it was Trey, I get nervous because we see the way Kyle starts calling different like game plans with Trey. So that's my only like reservation. Like, yes, I like Trey. I think he's got insane talent. I mean, he has an opportunity to be one of the best quarterbacks in this league based on traits alone. But Kyle calls different games for Trey. He called the play style, the play calling, the way defenses play, the 49ers is just different. And I think everyone feels more comfortable, and rightfully so, with the Jimmy Garoppolo offense. They've been running it since training camp. They have not stopped, other than when we've seen Trey come in. So I would like to see Jimmy be the starter. I hope this isn't the case. But like I said, Kyle Shanahan, he'll be at the podium at 4 today, and we'll be talking about it. Hopefully, he'll be talking about it. But let's see what else we got here. Anthony says Packers owned us in the 90s, but Shanny and Harbs owned Green Bay stock. I like that. Love this rivalry. Our playoff rivals have always been Green Bay, Dallas, and the Giants. Yes. Screw the Giants as well. But yeah, I agree. Green Bay. I go back to I think about the Kaepernick game. That was actually kind of the day my son was born. My first son. I was watching it in the hospital while my wife had been laboring. I think for like over like 30 hours at that point, and she had just gotten the epidural, and right as she got the epidural, the game started. Her contractions. I'm sorry for going into detail about that birth story, but it was very impactful to my life. um, it was very impactful to my life. To be able to kind of be in that experience of my first son being born and one of the most important playoff games of my life, the Green Bay Packer game, and being able to watch it and enjoy it and like us enjoy it together and not like have to worry about anything. And then he came a couple hours later. Uh, but man, I the Packers rivalry for me, huge. Huge. And when I think of, like, Garrison Hurst, like, I think of the old like, when I was a kid, I remember the 49ers playing the Packers, like, that's the rivalry that, like, hits home for me as a kid. Like, when I was a young 49er fan, like, I remember I think it wasn't it Garrison Hurst who broke his leg, um, against, Green Bay? I think in one of those playoff games? I can't remember, I don't know off the top of my head, but it just something that, like, is one of my early, like, memories as a 49er fan watching that. So the Green Bay rivalry is huge. Green Bay rivalry is huge. Obviously, Dallas is restored. We're still smoking that Dallas pack. We're still smoking that Dallas pack. Gotta love it. But we are on to this rivalry. This is going to be it right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is where it all comes down to it. It's going to be intense. It's going to be wild. It's going to be something. It's going to be something. And that's why, like I said earlier, like I do kind of want Jimmy to start that game. I know there's a lot of people who would like to see Trey, but I feel more comfortable with Jimmy Garoppolo at this point, especially going into this matchup. Thoughts on special teams in this cold weather? They just keep getting worse as the season goes. So this is one thing. I'm going to go on a little special teams tangent really quickly. Now I know it's really easy to kind of turn your frustrations towards the guy in charge, who's going to be Hightower. He's going to speak today as well at the podium. I'm sure he's going to get a ton of questions, because we know special teams this year just has not been it. Special teams this year has been really tough. I mean, obviously, we had special teams help the 49ers in a specific instance in week 3 against Green Bay when Trent Cannon had that fantastic return and really sparked the 49ers to start executing, and were able to engineer a comeback in that particular game this year. Um, but the special teams thing, I think it's also just kind of a function of personnel. Um, Again, keep in mind who got dusted on that fake punt against the Cowboys. I'll let the chat answer it. Who got dusted on the fake punt against the Cowboys? Quiz time. Let's see how many of you guys are paying attention. Drop it in the chat. There we go. There we go. This guy. Okay. Yes, that guy got burnt. Has this guy been playing special teams all year? No, he has not. He has not. What did we see when this guy was playing actual, like, starting cornerback snaps? What did we see? Dude always out of position, just doing his own thing. Um, like, literally assignment football and Josh Norman do not compute. They don't mix. Like, doing your job, you hear that all the time in football, "Do your job." This dude doesn't do his job. That's why he doesn't have a job anymore, and that's why eventually he'll like he's the most frustrating player that has been on the San Francisco 49ers, and probably the entire time I've been covering this team since 2017. I haven't come across a player that has frustrated me more than Josh Norman, and it's because of attitude. Again, you can control your attitude. That's something you control. Playing assignment sound football, another thing that yet you control. Knowing your assignments, knowing what to do, knowing where to be, knowing what technique to use, knowing what the situation calls for, that's on you. Like, so I know a lot of people want to come after Hightower, and I can understand. The body of work this year just hasn't been great. But again, like I'm talking about Josh Norman, like, you have to understand the personnel for special teams has been ever evolving. Absolutely ever evolving. Um, and uh with that, you have, again, 2 guys that were up for special teams last week got cut today off the practice squad. So, like, you have to understand, like, from a personnel standpoint, I sympathize with Hightower. Like, you don't have a core group. Like, when when you know, Juwan goes down or Ayuk goes down or Debo goes down or whatever, it's like then Trent Sherfield gets pulled up off special teams. Trent Sherfield's a special teams captain. Like, I don't think he's the official special teams captain, but he is the special teams captain. And when you take those guys off that unit because they now have to go play starting snaps, it messes with the continuity of special teams. So I try to bring that context to the table when having the special teams discussion, because with Hightower, he's using all the fringe guys. Like, Hightower gets all the fringe guys, like all the guys that they just signed to the practice squad. Like like you hear Kyle Shanahan talk about it. He's like, well, you know, the play where River Craycraft and Mark Nyocha, again, terrible with names. But Mark, he was with us in 2017, I believe, 2018, 2019. He'd been around. He's been here. He was a key special teamer for us on that 2019 run. But both those guys ran into the punter. And when Kyle was talking about it, he was like, "Yeah, well, we just signed Mark 2 weeks ago, and Rivers only been playing special teams for a month." So it's just like, again, the guys making mistakes are just like, they're just in and out. I don't know. So that's my only context that I want to bring. Is just like, I know a lot of people get really upset with the coach, and rightfully so. When the entire unit is making mistake after mistake after mistake, it does become a coaching issue. But I also just want to put an emphasis on all the guys that this guy has to work with are just constantly being rotated in and out. Like, there's no sense of consistency. There isn't. And so, to me, if I'm a coach and the guys that I'm working with, I don't know week in, week out who's going to be on my unit, and then you just got to mix and match. And oh, you Josh Norman, you got benched, so now rather than starting, you're going to come over here and you're going to be our starting gunner now, or you know what I mean? Like, it's just, and then those guys make mistakes, and it's like, I have a hard time totally faulting Hightower. Now I think overall, yes, Hightower, deserves, you know a little bit of smoke for, how the unit is performing. It's just not been good this year overall. But it's just one thing that I like to point out is that special teams is volatile if you don't have a lot of really good fringe players. If you don't have a lot of really good fringe players, uh, and this is true. Every special teams go through this. You're absolutely right, but it matters. It's not every special team is created equal. And guess what? Some of the guys that maybe you get on your teams should not be there. Exhibit A, Josh Norman. But I get it. So I think it's a comorbid. It's personnel issue, and it's just, unfortunately, the overall unit as a whole not playing very, very well. So, again, they talk about Talanoa Hufanga. Talanoa Hufanga was a key special teamer. He's still not healthy. He hasn't been healthy for a couple weeks. So, um, it's just, again, it was context. But overall, special teams is not performing the way we want it. And Kyle Shanahan talked about it. He said, you know, we just don't want to lose the game on special teams. And the 49ers almost did that. The 49ers almost did that in a playoff game. And I think that makes him nervous. And I think that makes us nervous as fans. Like, we don't want that. We don't want we just want the teams unit to go out and do their thing. Like, don't make turnovers, hold on to the ball, like, make tackles, fill your lanes, don't allow big returns, don't make stupid kicks, it's pretty cut and dry, obviously, with what you want uh from your team's unit. But man, it's a tough unit. I don't envy Hightower at all. I do not. I do not envy him. I do not envy having to work with Luke Barco and like Darquez Denard 4 days after he just got signed. Like I don't want any part of that. Like that's a hard position to be in to coach. I'm just saying. So, but it's like I said, it's comorbid. It's both. Coach got to motivate. Coach has to prepare, and then the guys have to go and execute. Norman has to go and execute. Um, how are we doing on likes? We didn't set a like bar for this show. We didn't. We're just kind of rolling with it. 49ers Raj says, "Where's the 200 likes?" I don't know. What are we at? I see DJ in the chat. DJ in the chat. DJ will probably update me here in about 2 seconds on where we're at with likes. Harris is saying, let's go at least 300 likes. Woo! That would be nice. I could do 300 likes. I don't know, but can the Sourdough Squad do 300 likes? Can the Sourdough Squad do 300 likes? Maybe. Maybe. Oh, we're at 121. DJ, our official like watcher. Oh, 133 updated. For sure. All right. Hey, well, we'll set the bar at 200, I guess. That should be easy. Should be easy. But we'll see. But Josh I like this one the best. I like that one the best, Josh. Josh knows me. Josh knows me well. Mike L says SDS bite down, get those likes up. Why not? Why not, Sourdough Squad? What can we do? Get those likes up. But I'm just really excited. I'm really excited, obviously, for this matchup. But we have some questions at hand. We have some questions. Who's it going to be at quarterback now? Like, it's a legitimate question, at least that we are talking about, we're thinking about, blah, blah, blah. Like, we'll find out. Again, Kyle's speaking in about an hour. This news came across today as well. D'Amico Ryans will interview with the Vikings head coaching position. This one I don't like. This news, not a fan of. This one hurts my heart a little bit. I would love to somehow figure out how to keep D'Amico Ryans for at least one more year. I think it's abundantly clear. I think it's abundantly clear that this man's importance to this team is epic. Like, and as a rookie defensive coordinator, um, because it's not, we talk about personnel, right? We just had the personnel conversation about Hightower. Well, D'Amico Ryans has had to do the same thing. He's had to manipulate his scheme constantly to be able to make adjustments with the lack of cornerbacks, injured players at linebacker. He lost D Ford and Javon Kinlaw right as the season started. Don't forget Jason Verrett. 3 starters out of 11 starting positions. 3 starters and key impact starters at that. Cornerback 1, D end 1.5, and DT 1. He lost 3 starters. And you could throw Greenlaw in there. Yeah, you could throw Greenlaw in there. He was out for almost all year. Those, yeah, say call 4. He lost all 4 of those guys. He lost a guy at every level. He lost a guy in the defensive backs room. He lost a guy at the linebacker room, and he lost multiple guys on the D-line room. So he's been at a disadvantage since the jump. And what he has done this year, the way guys are developing, again, when you look at the ascension of Azeez Al-Shaair, who's been coaching Azeez Al-Shaair this entire time? This guy, D'Amico, he's our linebackers coach before he was DC. So D'Amico, like, don't want to lose this guy. Like, he's so important to this team, especially this year. The success, him and Chris Kursek, defensive line coach. Like, I wish you could like somehow put a lock on like coaches, and coaches couldn't go. Uh, I don't know, somehow go do interviews or something because I don't want to lose this guy. Like, I think he's so clutch. And I also think with the 49ers, the roster turnover that will be happening next year, with about 33 guys under contract, I would love for him to be a part of the build up of the defense, the next phase of the defense that then matches with Trey Lance. Um, so I want him here for at least one more year. I think that's all we can really expect. Because it does sound like he could very well leave this year. He could. I don't want to see it. Uh, Same with Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel, like, I think 49ers fans, if you go into these press conferences, 49er fans constantly roast Mike McDaniel for whatever reason. I know what the reason is because of what it looks like and how he talks. But when if you've seen this last week, Mike McDaniel has gone viral lightweight for his press conferences, and everyone's rallying around Mike McDaniel from a analyst standpoint, from a fan standpoint. Like, they've seen the kind of compilation videos of Mike McDaniel speaking at the podium, and now they're like, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it." And it's unfortunate because there's a good portion of 49er fans that just don't get it. They just don't see it. They've been in the 49ers YouTube chat for months, clowning that guy every time he speaks, and they just don't get it. And I feel sorry for those guys because if Mike McDaniels does get a head coaching job somewhere, we're not gonna like it. We're not gonna like that because when we look at this offensive scheme and we see the way it evolves and the way that we see it like continue to evolve all year. We see a lot more gap schemes than we've seen before. He's the run game coordinator, so he's responsible for a lot of that. So those guys deserve a lot of credit. Mike McDaniel, D'Amico Ryans. Now, it always again, when you're at the top, you get the credit probably more than you deserve, but it goes the same way when things go wrong. When things go wrong, you get that credit as well. You get the credit for things going wrong, and we've seen that from Kyle. Kyle's taken the heat on both sides of it. So, but it is important to remember how important these two coordinators are. Mike McDaniel and D'Amico Ryans, both interviewing for head coaching jobs. Not only that, but I believe today, it was either today or yesterday. Our assistant GM, Adam Peters, and VP of Player Personnel, Rand Carthon, uh, both interviewed for the Giants GM position. So it could be a little ugly around here come off season time. There could be a lot of changes. There really could be, and I hope there's not. I hope we can somehow figure out how to keep that group together for at least one more run. But man, it's looking dicey. It's looking dicey. Looks like we might lose. Looks like we might lose someone. Don't know who it is yet. DJ says we're at 183 likes. I think we get to 200. I think we get to 200. Michael says they're trying to clean house with our team and the coaches. Yes, everyone like it's no surprise that after 2019 and the success that the 49ers had, specifically Kyle Shanahan on the offensive side of the football, I mean, we know it. We've already lost Robert Saleh. We lost our defensive backs coach. to a DC job. We've we've lost a couple good coaches. Obviously Sala and LaFleur again went to the New York Giants. We've been able to keep our like our personnel staff, like I feel like our GM staff pretty intact with, John Lynch, Adam Peters. But Adam Peters did the interviews last year. He didn't end up getting hired or accepting. So he ended up coming back and then getting, I believe, the elevated role to assistant GM. But man, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose any of those guys because if we can keep them, we need to keep developing. Continuity works. Oh, is he back? He's back. We're at 192. We're at 192. So I think that's pretty much it for the news that came out today. At least since I've come on here. Let me double check to see if anything else has dropped because I just realized my notifications were down. Just double checking here. So, like I said, we're probably going to get more updates here in about 45 minutes. Kyle Shanahan and Hightower are going to be speaking to the media, and they're going to be streaming that on YouTube from the 49ers channel. It doesn't look like there's really much of anything that's come out since we've been on, so that's good. But yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, we did it. Let's go. Shout out Sourdough Squad. Give yourselves a round of applause. We hit 200. Boom shakalaka. I love DJ, dude. DJ keeps me on point, man. DJ keeps me on point. He said, help Brad do the hat. All right, I'll do the hat, DJ. I'm going to get DJ a hat one of these days. I'm going to get it. Hold me to it, DJ. I'm going to have to get DJ a hat for show. If you do want this hat, we got a special deal on the Mission hat from Residency. Go to residency.com. Use the promo code SF9ERMISSION. You get 25% off the red cap. And of course, you've seen the red cap on Trey. You've seen it on Trent. You've seen it on Arden. You've seen it on Kittle. You've seen it on everyone. Everyone wears this damn hat. So if you want one, go to residency.com. Promo code 25% off. Let's go. Vibes. And I think what's today? Tuesday. Ooh. I think if you could potentially get the order in. Oh, no, it's Saturday. You could do it with expedited. I think. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to speak on that. If you would have got it in on Monday, I think absolutely you would have been able to get it before Saturday. But I can't confirm that at this moment. James Vega says, if Peters gets the job with the Giants, could you see him taking a few coaches from here with him, possibly trade for Jimmy? I definitely see the coaches route. Where if Adam Peters, and I talked about this, I think a day or two ago, but there has been an interest. I've noticed this trend that whenever the 49ers will release players, the Giants have picked them up. Picked up Dante Pettis. I believe they picked the undrafted linebacker out of Ohio that was actually balling out in the preseason. Oh man, why am I blanking on his name? But they picked up the Giants. I've noticed a trend over the last 2 years where the Giants pick up a lot of the players that the 49ers cut, which tells me they have a very strong interest in which either the players, yes, Justin Hilliard, thank you, Detail, which either the the players that they use, but obviously if those players are coming out of it's kind of like what we've noticed with Seattle. Whenever the 49ers will cut someone, Seattle picks them up because they have similar schemes and they have similar ways and like philosophies on how they want to run. So when a team has those things, it's a lot easier to take those players and put them into your culture because the cultures kind of match. And I really think the Giants do want some of that culture that the 49ers have. And so I could see Adam Peters potentially getting hired there. And then we hear D'Amico Ryans is going to be interviewed for a head coach. Mike McDaniels is going to be interviewed for a head coach. And if that happens, then we should be very nervous. We should absolutely be very nervous. Do they trade for Jimmy? I don't know. I don't know about all that. Adam Peters would know everything about that situation. Oh, Dick, you were on my good side, but if you're going to keep going, then I'm just going to boot you, my boy. It's not very hard. But I do see Marketing Pro in here. I do see Marketing Pro. I will tip my cap to Marketing Pro. We had a nice little roast session on the behalf of Marketing Pro, who is a Rams fan, yesterday. So I will tip the cap for taking care of our division rival, the Arizona Cardinals. I'll take it. Good job. Good job, Rams. It was a win-win for 49er fans. Not going to lie. It was a win-win. Whoever's going to win, whatever. Like, it's fine. Like, the 49ers, obviously, we have the Rams number. Cards have ours. Hey, okay. Like, if the 49ers have to play the Rams again, we're going back to SoFi Stadium. Like, oh, darn. Oh, darn. We're going back to Levi South. Darn. Oh, did you guys see that post? I think Rams Twitter put it out. They said whose house? They need to change that slogan. Like the whose house, Rams house. Like I like that officially just doesn't work anymore. It just officially doesn't work anymore. The 49ers own that place. So I think that was funny. And the 49er fans completely took over that tweet and just bum rushed it. I just remembered that I passed a super chat that I meant to come back to, but I think I completely missed it. It's from my homie. Damn. I think I missed it. Is it expired? I think I did. It's from Justin, I believe. And I believe it was a question of, I found it. Let's go. I meant to come back to this sooner, but squirrels happen and I get distracted very easily. Justin says, Brad, if you haven't watched Karlaftis, I have not yet, but I'm trending towards tomorrow. Of having a Karlaftis mini scouting report. That's what I'm trending towards because I owe it to Justin, and I will make sure I deliver for Justin. So I'm gonna even write it down. Tomorrow we talk about George. I will watch, do my mini report, and I will come back with what I see tomorrow. But he also says, if you haven't yet, I discovered Kingsley and oh gosh, I'm so bad at names. And a bar last night. He's supposed to go later. 19.7 pressure. Ooh. Could be a steal of the draft. Javon Kinlaw's teammate. Ooh, I'm gonna write that name down too. 19.7? Sheesh. I feel like I've seen this guy before, but it's just not jumping out. But I will come back to it. tomorrow. Okay. If Justin's in here, I don't know if he is. He's normally in here. Um, oh yeah, he's in here. So tomorrow, Justin, tomorrow I will have a mini scouting report on George Karlaftis and Kingsley. I'm gonna call him King. King, come through tomorrow. Be there, be square. Let's go. He's forcing me to get ready for draft season. I keep pushing draft season off. He's forcing me to do it, and I like it. I like it because I love draft season. It's the best season. Draft season is the best season. I mean, I get it. Like the, it's hard to say when we're in the middle of the playoffs. It's hard to say that in the middle of the playoffs, but my goodness, I love draft season so much. It is so much fun for me personally. I love it. I love scouting. I love it all. It's a great time. It's fun seeing the future of the NFL, seeing who's going to be good, who's not going to be good, seeing if you're right, seeing if you're wrong. It's a lot of fun. 229? Can we hit 250? I bet we could. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. Good stuff today. Wait, I'm getting two different. But anyways, it isn't working. Make sure it's all caps. Make sure it's all caps. We've had people use it before. If it doesn't work, I'll figure it out and I'll get you going. Yeah, DJ said, Brad, we weren't supposed to be in the playoffs after week 6. Oh yeah, a lot of people gave up on us. A lot of people gave up on the 49ers. A lot of people did. Someone didn't though. Sometimes it pays to be optimistic. Sometimes it does pay to be a glass half full kind of guy. Like when you see when you see a bad situation, but you have the ability to not only process it for what it is, but also process it through a lens of a glass half full perspective, it really gives you a big range of possible outcomes. And I've been doing this long enough to know you'd be foolish to call yourself out when you're actually not out. Like it's like we've seen, and I talk about it all the time with football. Like we have the preseason, but the first 4 weeks of football is the preseason for the starters. You have no idea what these teams are. You have no idea how they gel, how they're going to gel, how they're going to evolve, who gets hurt, who doesn't get hurt. That first 4 weeks is literally the preseason for the starters. And you have no idea. Like everything can turn on its head after week 4, week 5, week 6. We've seen it so many times. So when you see people who are prisoner of the moment, you can understand it because it's the outcome that we're a part of. But there's also additional outcomes and thought processes and ranges of outcomes that you have to take into account. And that we were close. Like we were close. We got to the point where like it was one game at a time. Like we were talking like playoff type mindset. We were talking like playoff type mindset week 8 against the Bears. I mean, it wasn't great. Like, I'm not gonna sit here in front like, oh yeah, I knew this whole time. No, I'm not gonna say that. But week 8, I knew if we didn't win against, if we didn't beat the Bears the way we did, oh boy, it would have been, it would have been, it would have been tough. It would have been tough, for sure. And it got real tough, right? When the 49ers got beat by the Cardinals practice squad, but they got it together. Week 10, smashed the Rams, traveled to the Jags, beat the Jags. Vikings come and visit, beat the Vikings. So it's been a grind. It's been a grind, a huge grind. If Trey plays, we're 13-4 and a 1 seed. Bye bye, Jim. I don't see any scenario. Again, we're talking pure hypotheticals um, that have no factual significance of anything. But if Trey plays, I think we're in the same boat. Honestly, if Trey played, if I still feel the same, like I think a year with no Jimmy, like no Jimmy, not Jimmy as a backup. Like if Jimmy got traded in the offseason, again, pure hypotheticals. If Jimmy got traded in the offseason, they went into training camp with Trey Lance as the starter. They developed him as the starter, developed an offense behind him as the starter, developed him with the first team unit. I still think the 49ers could have had a very similar record. 10-7, I think, is absolutely a range of outcome with Trey Lance and growing with Trey Lance. Um, someone just say Trey Lance can't throw? Oh, it's our marketing pro. I got catfished. Never mind. Disregard that comment. Because we know the source in which it's coming from. But you know, there's no way. It felt like a troll comment. But hey, it's okay. If it's not, then that's okay too. But definitely felt like a troll comment. Yeah, I got baited by the Rams troll, damn it. He got me. He's living large today. Hey, I'm gonna give it up to Marketing Pro. Marketing Pro is a good sport. We roasted the hell out of him yesterday. He's back. And he trolled me. Good job. Well done, Marketing Pro. Well done. Maybe he is a Marketing Pro after all. Maybe he is. Shout out Marketing Pro. Hey, the goal is though, we're gonna turn Marketing Pro into like the next Don Burr. Like it's not gonna start like it's gonna be like, oh, who's this guy? This opposite fan who's talking trash. But sooner or later, Marketing Pro is probably gonna be in every live that we do from here on out. Jim is the only Niner with a turnover since week 13. Interesting. Don't know if that's true or false. Ooh, we're close to that 250 mark. Good point. Good point. Don Burr isn't a jerk. You're right. Don Burr's a legend. I need to put more respect on Don Burr in that instance. But I can dream. I can hope. I can have faith for Marketing Pro that he evolves. We'll see. We'll see. But my goodness. Let's go. Scotland in the building. Let's go. Love to see it. So like I said, or have said, that's pretty much most of the news that we've been able to cover for today. Nothing else has come out since the crazy tweet from Jason McKinstry that says Jimmy Garoppolo might not start. All right. We're going to find out here in about 30 minutes from Kyle Shanahan when he goes to the podium and do all that. So we're going to find out. We are going to find out. I imagine he'll be here, or Jimmy will play, but another storyline added to the list. So we'll continue to monitor that. If there is anything potentially earth shattering that comes from this press conference in about 30 minutes, we could potentially come back on to talk about what's said again, especially if there is some serious concern around the quarterback position. And but again, my current gut feeling is that tweet is a lot of cap, but you never know. You really never know. So we'll find out in about 30 minutes what's going on. Hightower's gonna speak. Be easy on him in the chat, all right? We're all gonna be in the chat together. Just go easy on him, all right? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just go a little easy on Hightower. I like Hightower, man. I do. I do. What's good, Travis? Uh I gotta figure out if those dang beanies are back in stock. That's the real thing I gotta do. That is the real thing I gotta do. And if I can get one, I'm gonna get you one. I got to. As my official like watcher. Yeah, for sure. Jimmy G to Steelers. SDS right in the Niners press. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of cool. I'm sure they probably are annoyed of it, but it was cool seeing everyone drop the SDS and the sourdough emojis and all the baguette emojis. That was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I like seeing the squad take over the chat. It was fun to watch. So I guess it's a little bit more fun than watching people argue about Grant. I guess. Oh goodness gracious. Oh, you got your hat. Let's go. James got his hat. James got his hat. Let's go. 100%. Let's go. Sourdough Squad. SDS. All love. Let's go. Bread Gang. Bread Gang. Let's go. No. This is it. Yeah, this is what your boy does. Dude, I'm so lucky, dude, right now. Like especially with the 49ers winning and all that stuff, that I just get to talk about 49ers football for my job. Honestly, doesn't get too much better than that. It really doesn't. It really doesn't, man. It really does not. And I have to thank all of you for that. Like every time you guys watch, every time you guys like, every time you guys send me a super chat, anytime you just comment in the chat, like you guys are helping me so much and I can't thank you guys enough for your continued support of the channel, the continued support of the entire sourdough squad, the community that we got going here, the stuff that we're building towards. Like I talk about all the time. This is my rookie year. Like I'm just starting. I'm just figuring it out. I'm still taking my baby steps through this and trying to figure out how it all works. But oh my goodness, we are hitting a great point in the year, and I can't thank you guys enough. You guys in this chat, you guys know who you are, uh, who helped. I feel like I say this at the end of every live, but man, it's like it's true. Like you guys are killing it. Like you guys are just as part of this show as me speaking. Like if you guys aren't in the chat, like we don't have the same vibe. Like we don't have this same group, the same all of it. We don't have it. We don't have it. And I couldn't be more thankful um for your guys' support. You guys make it real easy. 100%. You guys make it real easy and I really really do appreciate it. And I'm having fun because we cracked the code. I will be able to support my family doing this. And again, I can support my family because of you guys, and it's insane. It's absolutely insane. I got 3 kids, a wife. Like we got a lot of mouth to feed, a lot of mouths to feed over here. But you guys are helping me get it done, and I really, really do appreciate it. I literally cannot stress that enough of how much I do appreciate it. Um, so before I keep just going down the road of just getting all sentimental and teary-eyed over here, we're gonna go get ready for the Kyle Shanahan Hightower press conference because they better ask him. Hey, if Grant's in there, Grant better ask him about that tweet. That's what I want to see. Someone better ask him about that tweet. Please. Please. I would love to see that. Someone ask him about the tweet with the shoulder We need answers. We need answers. Also, too, on top of that, be nice to Hightower, please. Please don't go into that chat saying fire Hightower. I think if there's one lesson that we can learn as a group from this year is the firing stuff is just out of control. We will call for someone's head when it is deserved, i.e. Josh Norman. We have been calling for Josh Norman's head since day one, since that Arizona game. We don't like Josh Norman. Josh Norman doesn't deserve to be here, in my opinion. Doesn't deserve to be a part of this special team. Again, I don't know Josh Norman. I don't know him as a person. I don't know. Could be a great guy in the locker room. But what I see on the field, again, I'm evaluating Josh Norman for what he does on Sundays. Don't like it. Shouldn't be here. Shouldn't be on this team. But that's what we got to deal with. Bulky, yes, fire Bulky. Still fire Bulky. Like, I can't believe Bulky has a job. Unbelievable. That guy is. God, I get like I stay pretty calm for the most part, but whenever I start thinking about Trent Bulky, I cannot lie to you, my blood starts boiling. Like, I cannot express to you. Like, we try to, again, we try to stay positive. We try to stay glass half full. We don't try to go to negative town, but I can't stand Bulky, man. Again, just thinking about him, I'm like, I getting enraged. Like, that man almost made me quit liking the 49ers. Like, that is how much he aggravated me. Oh gosh. Still fire Trent Bulky. I don't even care. Fire him from the Jags, and I'll celebrate that. Like, God, I can't do it. Can't do it with Trent Bulky, but I do, again, appreciate every single one of you. Let's have a good, again. I'll chill with you guys in the press conference. Let's have good vibes. Keep the legendary SDS vibes going, and we'll see what Coach has to say, because hopefully nothing too juicy. Because, like I said, I don't want to see Jimmy be hurt. I would rather see Jimmy available, but we're going to find out. Big press conference coming up at 4 on the 49ers channel. Make sure you tap into that. I'll see you guys over there. Smash that like on the way out. Smash that sub on the way out. Join the Sourdough Squad. That's all you got to do. All you got to do. The Sourdough Squad's legendary. You can see it. All you got to do is smash the sub, smash the like. You're in. No elaborate jump in, nothing. That's it. Sub, like, in. If you want the hat, residency.com, promo code SF9er Mission, 25% off, red cap. You know the vibes. And we're heading out on 282. That's pretty damn good, squad. All right, fine. I'm staying until we get to 300. I am staying until we get to 300. Are you prepared to go to 300 likes? Are you prepared? Hey, Mark, if you get the hat, oh, where'd it go? If you get the hat, you follow me on Instagram. If you post a picture of the hat that you just got and you tag my page, the SF Niners, we will share it to our story. So we appreciate that 100%. Oh, we're close. We're close. How? He said 300 like Sparta. We're close. We're close. Hey, it's in. Hey, I'm. Trust me. I'm thinking about it heavy right now. I'm thinking. This off season, once the season's over, and I could take a deep breath from content, and we can like focus on building. Yeah, we're gonna have some SDS stuff for show. Let's go. 303. Look at the Sourdough Squad. You guys are freaking legit. Let's go. 304. Got it. Let's go. Look at the squad. Man, you guys make me so damn happy. I don't even get it. Let's go. He said 3, honey. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. Sourdough Squad. Liked it. Loved it. You guys are the best, man. I swear, you really are. Let's go. Like I said, could be back. Maybe we're gonna find out what happens in this press conference, man. I got you, DJ. Keep bugging me. I'm gonna get you one. You deserve it. You're in like every single one of these lives constantly, and you're our like counter, so huge help. Um, let's go. Appreciate you guys. So we'll see you on the other side. Again, could potentially be a live on the other end of the press conference if we get some crazy news and we just got to react to it and all kind of like vent or whatever. We're gonna find out. But some news coming up in about 20 minutes. 49ers press conference, hop into their YouTube. And again, be easy on Hightower. That man's got a family too. Go easy on that man's. Okay. All right. I'm gonna see you guys on the other side. I appreciate the Sourdough Squad as always. We're out of here. You guys are the best. We hit it to 300. Let's go. I'll see you guys.